Alright everyone, this is Tyler Hibbler, part 2 of this devlog. I'm going to be showing you the completed first draft of the first level. So, there won't be any enemies in this first section. You'll be wandering around. Well, not really wandering around. And then you'll see 3 bosses and a short kind of cutscene. These are just placeholders. These are not even remotely similar to what the final one will be. Just used for planning purposes. And they'll be replaced as I get proper models and textures taken care of. Of all the feedback I've already gotten on this game, a lot of people like the style. So after that, there's another hallway with different floor, ceiling, and walls, and also these strange purplish cracked plaster walls, and the ceiling looks like it's scales. And there's a mosaic tile floor, same as the pillars in the other room. And there's this rusted metal wall with a door in it. You go through to this room. There's going to be some enemies after that cutscene room, by the way, and there's going to be like a kind of a mini boss in this section. Also, based on feedback, there are some changes that need to be made to that projectile. Like, it bounces, so I know I'd have to fix that, but apparently it's not being the most accurate, so I'm gonna need to fix that somehow. And then you go through here after that mini boss, and there's like a couple enemies that attack once you enter this room. And there's stairs, one enemy on each landing. So one there, one here, one here, and then there won't be one here because there's this, which will be a portal to the next level, which I have not yet made, so I cannot update any progress. So let me run back to that cutscene room and kind of explain the premise of what's going on with those guys. Okay. So this guy is the final boss. Not gonna go into much specific about him because I don't want to spoil that before people even have a chance to play this game. And then she is the boss before that, and she cannot be attacked with ranged attacks. And sorry about the excessive shooting. I'm trying to gesture, but I'm on a laptop. She will be impervious to ranged damage, and you'll have to get her with a melee weapon, which won't be gotten until a later point. Now this guy, he's the first boss. He's kind of a joke. Like he uses poison damage, but really poison damage just does 2 damage instead of 1 for a hit. So I guess just double the damage, and he doesn't hit very hard. And he's got the same amount of health that you have, and you hit a lot harder than he does. So, he's not much of a threat. He's just to introduce the concept, maybe give some exposition, and also gives you a ranged weapon as a drop, a melee weapon as a drop item, so you can do harm to her. And this guy, I'm not going to go into any of that because I don't want to spoil certain story moments. And yes, there will be a plot to this. I'm not going to go too much into it because I don't want to spoil that before people even are able to playtest the game. All I will say is that this is some kind of weird pocket dimension that this guy has gone and got himself trapped in, and he's trying to get out. But the only chance he has to get out is to destroy those 3 entities. And the reasoning I also won't go into because that's kind of a spoiler thing for this first cutscene. And like I said, I haven't even gotten it close to playtesting. Like, this is just a few days work. So yeah. I'm hoping to have this released by the end of this year. The budget for this game is $175. I know it's not a lot, but it's very low budget. But $100 of that's for publishing it on Steam. The other $75 is for other assets than what's included in Unreal Engine 4, and ones I cannot get for free. And also any other expenses that might be needed, like additional software and whatnot, if possible, for $75. Though I may need to increase the budget depending on that, but right now it's sitting at $175. It's also going to be published on Google Play, which I do not have to pay for because I already have a publisher's license. But it is a weird. It does take place in a weird pocket dimension, and it's supposed to look kind of off, kind of gross, like kind of not exactly right. So while these textures are placeholders, the aesthetic will remain the same in the future. But yeah, temporary textures that will be replaced with similar, better quality ones. Might also turn on ray tracing and maybe mess with the lighting a bit so the shadows aren't all pixelated like that. Maybe get a good animation going for these portals. But yeah, I have my work cut out for me. I will say I do despise texturing stairs, but it's just worth it, Like, I can look at that and be like, hey, I did that. Something to be proud of, especially when things get dull during this process. Like if I ever want to give up on this game, I have a reason not to, because I spent so much time and effort trying to get those stairs textured. I was patient. So even on the more boring documentation and other things, getting the studio actually incorporated as a business, get my business license and all that, getting the employer identification number for tax purposes, all the stuff necessary. In those dull moments, I can always remember, hey, this is worth it. At least I'm not texturing stairs. And really, it's not difficult, it's just a pain. But yeah, there's gonna be some weird dog things as enemies. Yeah, weird dog things. Uh, like some other strange monsters. Maybe a dragon. I'm not sure. Definitely not in this room. This is not really ideal for a dragon. Maybe a griffin. I'm not sure about that just yet. Or maybe a weird skin scorpion thing I saw for sale the other day as an asset. That probably sounded really gross and uncomfortable to hear about, but it's going to be in the game at some point because that's exactly what kind of place this is. This is meant to have like a horror aspect to it in the form of the enemies. And this is not a glitch. The texture is intended to be like this. It's a stretched out chainmail pattern. Like, not meant for this mannequin model or that logo on its chest where the logo could have been. It just ended up looking like this, like that link happened to land right where the mouth would be. So it makes kind of a respirator looking thing. And this looks like a faceplate on a helmet. That looks like a panel with buttons and stuff, or like a screen. And it just looks like wires. So I really like the way that turned out. So I'm gonna remember that aesthetic when making or possibly commissioning character models and textures for some custom assets. She was done with a texture that's supposed to be a pile of gold coins. Just kind of as a placeholder for some ornate metal. Full body suit of armor. And this guy, it's a texture called biotech trim or something like that. And he came out looking like this weird thing covered in eyes. So I was like, okay, this texture kind of as a placeholder, of course, but he's gonna kind of resemble something all wrinkled and covered in eyes, or maybe covered in scars in this shape. and this placeholder animation makes it kind of look like he is holding a rifle, like it's a rifle animation, like for a certain pose with a rifle while idle, and just kind of like the creepy, like gremlin type vibe. And same with this pose. He's kind of this is also a sample animation that I use for standing with a shotgun, I think. It's supposed to be more of a scheming kind of thing. And as for her, well, she really just is very calm in demeanor, very neutral. So this idle animation kind of reflects uh, the idea of what her mannerisms are going to be outside of combat. Like before you walk up and initiate the boss fight. Um, this lighting, of course, is going to change quite a bit. Yeah, these textures are more representative of kind of a, they're kind of a way of taking notes, like on what aesthetic I want when I get better textures, either purchased, commissioned, or made myself. Like this isn't really going to be like a rusty steel plate texture. It's going to be like a hammered copper look to it, I think. And these bricks are gonna be more of a like a glowing grid. These tiles are gonna be like a more of a mosaic, a different mosaic pattern. Just tiles of that. These dirty subway tiles or bathroom tiles or whatever are all cracked and stuff, and they're going to be pretty close to what ends up there. And the light sources, I should mention right now, the light sources are going to be kind of a weird glow where you can't actually see the source, but you can kind of tell where it's originating from because of a weird glow that's intentional. Like, that's being left noticeable intentionally to give off that weird, oh, this is not our universe vibe. I am in a universe where I shouldn't be. And like the ceiling is gonna be kind of a weird scaly thing, like dragon scales almost. These stairs are gonna be nice hardwood, but like worn, like nice old hardwood. When it was first put in, but then after years and years of use, it got worn. It doesn't look so great anymore. Uh, the tiles again, and these walls are different from the first area. Those were more of a gray brick. This is a rough gray stone wall, and it's not going to be a flat texture. It's going to and the mesh for the wall itself is going to be different. I'm going to replace that with something to give more texture to the wall instead of just looking flat when you look at it anything from any other perspective but straight ahead. And this is not at all what it's going to be. It's just here to let me know, oh, hey, here's going to be a portal, and it's going to go to, this is point A, it's going to go to point B. And at the end of the next level, it's going to be point C. Point C is going to take you to point D in the next level. Those are going to be a matching pair of walls, at least temporarily, and then same for 3 to 4. And then at the end of 4, there's going to be another portal that pops up, and it's going to lead you to the credits. Or a cutscene, maybe. I'm not sure about that. But, oh, man. It definitely is nowhere near being done or even ready to be play tested, but a lot of people have been asking me if they could play test it. You cannot yet, because it's not yet at a point where there's really anything to play test. Like, I'm not even sure that this qualifies as a game. It's more of a architectural walkthrough than a game at this point. Yeah, I'm gonna be working on this and posting, uploading frequent video updates like this one over the next year with the progress of this project, and we'll continue with my next project as well once I get to that. I'm in this one here.